You're scrolling, drifting through the endless static of the algorithm, waiting for the signal to cut through the noise. Consider, if you will, that you just found the frequency. You've just stepped off the timeline of the everyday, into the space where the forgotten history and the hidden truths finally touch down. There's the story you know, and then there's the airspace we're about to enter. Check your coordinates, because you're heading towards the landing point. Welcome back, friends. Today's story, the forklift. It was 1966. A young man, barely 21 years old, stepped off an airplane into the chilly air of the United States. He was a long way from the warmth, the sun-drenched beaches of his home. Let's just call him Nesta. Nesta was a newlywed. He had a young wife waiting back in the Caribbean and a head full of big dreams. He wanted to make music. He wanted to write songs that would change the world. But as an aspiring artist quickly learned, dreams don't pay the rent. He needed capital. He needed cold, hard cash to fund his own record label. So he traveled to Wilmington, Delaware, where his mother had recently moved to find work. To the world, Nesta was a visionary, a man of deep spiritual conviction. But in Delaware, in 1966, he was just another immigrant looking for a paycheck. He cut off his hair, he put his beloved guitar back to its case, and he put on a uniform. For nearly a year, the young musician worked the grueling graveyard shift under the unassuming alias Donald. He clocked in at the sprawling Chrysler assembly plant. Night after night, he drove a heavy forklift, moving cumbersome automotive parts up and down the concrete aisles to help build American cars. When he wasn't navigating the factory floor, he was wearing a white coat, sweeping floors and working as a lab assistant for the DuPont Chemical Company. It was unglamorous, backbreaking work. But every hour on the factory floor was a step closer to the recording studio. He lived a quiet, invisible life in Delaware, but his mind was never on the assembly line. While the forklift hummed and the factory roared, he was writing melodies in his head. Finally, he had saved enough. He packed his bags, left Delaware's winters behind, and flew back to his island home. He poured his hard-earned factory wages into his music, launching a record label called Wayland Solom. He began recording the very songs that had echoed in his mind during those long, cold shifts at the Chrysler plant. In fact, years later, he would release a song called Night Shift, directly singing about time driving the forklift in the dark. The young man with the alias Donald went on to become a global icon. He grew his hair back into his signature dreadlocks. He became an international ambassador of peace, a voice for the oppressed, and the undisputed pioneer of an entire genre of music. The man who funded the music revolution with Chrysler assembly line wages was Robert Nesta Marley. You know him as Bob Marley. And whether you realize it or not, this is The Landing Point. Viewers, thank you for watching today, The Landing Point. We really appreciate it. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Roadrunner Real Estate. They are a full-service real estate company doing both commercial and residential real estate. They can help you buy, sell, or even lease your properties. So if you're in the market looking for a real estate company, please go out and give them a call. They'll happily help you today. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our social media. Obviously, we have YouTube if you're watching that today. If you haven't done so already, please go out and subscribe. It is completely free to you. There's nothing that you'll be charged or your membership fees, but it does help us out so we can get our latest episodes to you quickly, and you can find out what's going on with YouTube. Our other place that we do a lot of our social media is on our Facebook page, The Landing Point. So please go out and like and subscribe or follow those, I guess I would say, so you get the latest updates. If you're a person that likes to listen to stories as you're out on the drive, we have our podcast. You can find The Landing Point out there, and it can be on most services. So once again, thank you for watching The Landing Point, and we look forward to see you on our next story.